you back to 1892. Utah and Utah State have been competing on the football field. This is the 110th meeting, the last meeting scheduled in Logan, Utah, at the home of Utah State. And we head to the fourth quarter in a tie game. Third down and long. First play of the fourth, incomplete. Utah will punt to begin the fourth quarter.
It's a shame to see rivalries like this go by the wayside, but with the changing landscape of college football, it happens. Utah used to be one of the little kids, the little schools. Now they are the big dog in Utah, surpassing BYU, having moved to the Pac-12, and they don't have room on their schedule since the Pac-12 plays 9 conference games.
Utah and BYU meet next week. They meet one more time on the schedule, and they're going to take 2 years off as Utah has home and home scheduled with Michigan. So even that rivalry fading for a couple years in the future. Webb grabs it at the 39. Well, last year, Utah State went to a bowl game for the first time since 1997, but the last time that they went to back-to-back bowl games have to go to the 1960 and 61 Utah State Aggies. But Gary Anderson's team might not only go to a bowl game this year, they are expected to contend with Louisiana Tech for the WAC.
You're doing all this historical stuff, and I see the name Merlin Olsen on the field. What do you know about Merlin Olsen?
The fearsome foursome with the Los Angeles Rams. I believe 14 Pro Bowls for Merlin Olsen.
I thought you were too young for that.
It's not just Flowers and big hit. As Keaton releases that one, Fehoko lays a big lick on Chucky Keaton.
Unblocked, right up the middle. Fehoko comes straight up the middle, delayed blitz, had a straight-on shot. He's 5'11", 231 pounds, and he rocked the wood.
Merlin Olsen will be proud of that hit.
Yeah, I thought you were just all about Little House on the Prairie and Merlin Olsen. But fearsome foursome, LA Rams, you broke it out.
Out of that fearsome foursome group were the LA Rams. Second down, Keaton will be knocked out of bounds near the 35. The late Merlin Olsen, boy, a fantastic football player. Remember all the years of him and our good friend Dick Enberg doing the Rose Bowl for years and years. And Jonathan Garvey on Little House on the Prairie. A Merlin Olsen name big here. Father Murphy as well.
I am very impressed. I am really impressed.
I did have to look up his character's name on Little House on the Prairie. I'll admit that. The rest of it I had down.
Oh, you may go far.
I believe him. Yeah, 14-time Pro Bowler. 3rd and 10. Keaton scrambling. Keaton dropped at the 48-yard line. 4th down coming up for Utah State. The punt unit coming on.
Utah State has not been able to convert a 3rd down of significance in a long, long time. Momentum has shifted.
Utah State hasn't scored since the first quarter. 13 unanswered by Utah. Norwood fields it at the 5. Norwood dropped back at the 2.
You cannot catch that ball.
Kyle Whittingham's Utes are backed up in a tie game in the 4th on Friday night. The 10th meeting between Utah and Utah State is a good one. Even at 13:37 to go. Utah from its own 5. John Hayes under center, replacing the injured Jordan Wynn. John White on first down for just a 3. There is a flag down in the backfield. It's holding.
Holding by the offense, number 79. That penalty's declined. 2nd down.
Look at some great teamwork brought to you by Russell Athletics.
So Jordan Wynn knocked out of the game as a starting quarterback. John Hayes comes in, does a nice job helping Utah get on the board. And how about Travis Wilson, freshman quarterback, also stepping in the free flicker to carry Ken Scott for the touchdown. 2 quarterbacks combining to help out the injured guy. That's a little teamwork.
That was Ken Scott's first career touchdown, by the way, for Utah, and it was a great grab.
Won't be his last.
Hayes gets the snap off on 2nd and 8. Dancing along the goal line. Now Hayes will run. Hayes will dive close to the first down at the 15. Did he get there? Yes, he did. Move the chains. John Hayes goes leaping for a Utah first down.
This is a gutsy play. 3 or 4 times a game, you'll need your quarterback to buy time or make a play with his feet. This is one of those times. That's a big first down to get you out of the shadow of your own goalpost.
Five seconds, 4 seconds. Hayes fakes it. It's a toss. Reggie Dunn, the senior from Compton, is wrestled down. Fili Moyatu, the senior outside linebacker, has been making the plays for the Aggies tonight.
Not fooling him. Fili Moyatu was there the entire time. Diagnosed the play from the beginning. Did not take a false step. Stayed there and just waited.
Bo-J Fili Moyatu, who has been injured most of his Aggie career. 2nd year out of Mount San Antonio Junior College. The coaches told us yesterday he is as healthy as he has been. He is ready to make plays. Hayes to throw on 2nd and 12. He is looking long for Christopher. Jump ball incomplete. Will Davis knocks it away from Devontae Christopher. 3rd down and 12 coming for Utah. Davis knocks it away from Christopher.
Sets up a big 3rd down.
Where Utah is only 2 of 12.
And this is about field position. They don't pick up this third down here. They will give the ball back to Utah State. Great field position, somewhere around midfield. This is a big 3rd down.
Empty backfield. Hayes throws incomplete. 4th down coming up. Terrence Alston knocks it away. Connor Williams gets the pressure.
Now remember, they blocked 1 punt in the 1st quarter. Now this is a nice job here. He got the right arm in to knock the ball away. That's Alston, number 5. And unless you have a complete turn with that offhand, the officials will give you some leeway. But he got that hand out in front. But a block kick already tonight could set up a good return. 2 return men back there now.
Selwood gets the punt away. Webb is down at the 32.
Great kick.
Webb manages to hang on too, avoiding further special teams adventures. Tie game of the 4th on Friday night.
ESPN College Football Primetime is presented by Russell Athletic, who remind you that together we are. And in part by the Volkswagen Passat 2012 Motor Trend Car of the Year.
The Herd, the packed student section that takes up one whole side of Romney Stadium here in Logan, is hoping for an Aggie win over Utah for the first time since 1997. Walter Blackburn, Rod Gilmore, Jamel Hill, our Friday night crew for another great one. ESPN College Football Primetime on Friday night. Chucky Keaton and the Utah State offense, who have not scored since the end of the 1st quarter. Kerwin Williams first down carry to the 38.
That's got to be, what, 33 minutes plus without a score?
Yeah, 33. 45 roughly, since 3 seconds left in the 1st quarter. Williams on 2nd and 4, moves the chains. So what does Utah State need to do to get back on the scoreboard?
Well, the option has been taken away. That was their big play in the 1st half. Now they're trying to run straight at them using 2 backs. The passing attack hasn't been there for the short game. I still think they need to move Chucky Keaton to the edge when they want to throw it. He's good on the move.
Bartlett, the tight end, goes in motion. Austin in motion on 1st and 10. Keaton incomplete. intended for Barton.
I'd get him out of the pocket. I'd get him out of the pocket. The option was really working well for them. They used a lot of it early on. 34 yards in 10 plays. At one point, they were averaging about 9 yards per option play. And then Utah started blitzing the option and shut it down. Now they're spreading them out. He will have lanes here. He'll have places to look if they quarterback draw or let him just get to the edge.
Diamond formation on the near side on 2nd and 10. Throw on the screen. It is incomplete. That's a pass, and it's incomplete to Joe Hill. 3rd and 10.
I still think that he is really effective when they roll him out. Reduce the field that he has to see. Give him the run-pass option.
With Utah State only 1 for 9 on 3rd down, we've had 3 3rd down conversions combined in this game. Keaton on 3rd and 10. Chucky Keaton throwing incomplete. Fourth down coming up for the Aggies. Tyler Bennett in the punting unit will come out for Utah State, who hasn't scored since the end of the 1st quarter. It was a 13-0 lead at that point for the Aggies. Fair catch called for right around the 27. So John Hayes in the Utah offense back on the field, a chance to take the lead. 10:26 left in the 4th. Utah starting quarterback relegated to assistant coach in the 4th quarter. He is injured. Arm in a sling in a tie game, 13-all. 3:30 Eastern tomorrow on either ABC or ESPN2. It's USC and Syracuse from the Meadowlands Air Force, and the Michigan Wolverines now number 19. So they're
How many can USC score tomorrow?
I think they may rest some starters tomorrow. Hayes rolling complete and rather incomplete. Anderson is out of bounds there. So it's 2nd down and 10. Well, here it is on a Friday night, and it's 13-all in the 4th quarter, and Utah State has a chance to knock off Utah for the first time since 1997 if the Utes can move the football.
Well, he called him out of bounds. Said the left foot was out and called it incomplete.
Utah looks like they're going to snap the football. Replay booth will not take a look at it. So here's Hayes out of the shotgun on 2nd down. Pass is nearly intercepted by Will Davis. 3rd and 10 coming up. So Rod, the defenses have carried the 2nd half for sure between the Aggies and the Utes. So which of these offenses is more able to move the football to get into scoring position?
Well, it seems like the team that doesn't make the mistake is going to hang on here, because Utah State turned it over twice in the 2nd half. That hurt them. I think for Utah, Christopher is still the guy that they really don't have an answer for out there. When he's covered, he's still open. So I think if he gets single coverage, he's probably the guy for Utah.
Devontae Christopher, number 10 for the Utes. Hayes pressured. Hayes fires. It is incomplete. Almost intercepted again. Alston got in front of the intended receiver, Drez Anderson. Nearly had the pick, but it's 4th down.
Really good cornerback play for Utah State. They can go 4 deep when they go into their nickel package. They have 4 guys they have confidence in to play man coverage, and that's one of them out there right there. And Davis, Lawson, Sanders, they all do a nice job.
Good night for the punters at altitude here in Logan, Utah. Sean Selwood and Tyler Bennett. 3rd consecutive punt here for Utah, all the way back to the 10. Webb sprinting ahead to the 25. Cameron Webb across the 30 to near the 35-yard line. Aggie football, 9:54 to go. Can Utah State score for the first time since the end of the 1st quarter? first athletic contest in Utah State history was a football game against the University of Utah all the way back in 1892. Meeting number 110 is in the final 10 minutes of a tie game. Utah State scored the first 13 points of the game. Utah has 13 straight after that. Free play for the Aggies, complete to the 43. If that's offsides, Matt Austin makes the grab to the 43, and Utah State takes advantage of the free play.
Great recognition.
Outside by the defense, number 99. That penalty is declined. The play results in a first down.
Smart play by Chucky Keaton. He recognized that this was an offsides down, a free down for him, and he takes his shot.
Quick recognition, too, from Keaton. So first down and 10. Austin makes the big grab after the offside from the Utah 43. Williams gets it on first down. Kerwin Williams inside the 35. Kerwin Williams inside the 20. Shoved out of bounds at the 10. And the Aggies are in position to take the lead in the fourth. A 33-yard gain from Kerwin Williams. But there's a flag down. Gain, but will it stand?
There was a hold on the edge.
During the play, personal foul by the defense, number 99. Number 99 threw a punch. Number 99 is disqualified from the game. That penalty will be enforced half the distance to the goal. It is first down.
That's an automatic disqualification. Joe Kruger throws a punch. He's out of the game.
I thought they were going to get the hold. I thought Kruger was held, and then I think he reacted to that.
And Eric Rowe, who is the tackler on the play, knocked Williams out of bounds, is getting helped off the sidelines. That's the starting free safety and the starting defensive end out of the game for Utah now. Kruger out for the game.
Held or not, you can't respond by throwing a punch.
And we're taking a close look on our replay looks to try and find that punch from Joe Kruger. So after that play, first and goal, Utah State. Can the Aggies take advantage with 9:30 to go in the fourth?
Utah a little bit discombobulated. Guys running on the field late here.
Well, you have to replace two defensive players. Kruger's out. Eric Rowe is being helped down the Utah sideline. We will update his status when we can. First and goal. Keaton will roll and throw. Caught, touchdown. The Aggies lead with 9:10 to go. Kellen Bartlett has the touchdown grab. And Utah State celebrates already. Minutes, 10 seconds remaining, but it's Utah State who grabs the lead and the momentum in the fourth. New kicker, Josh Thompson for the PAT, and it's good.
Oh, we talked about Chucky Keaton, getting him to the edge. He is so good on the move. They saved it and used it once they got in the red zone inside the 20. Watch Keaton get to the edge. The run pass option. He throws so well on the move. Able to find his tight end Bartlett right on the goal line. So much pressure on the defense because of his feet. He can use his arm to get the touchdown pass in there.
Joe Kruger, who was ejected from the game. When you go back to that offside spray, Keaton to Matt Austin on the free play. That was Joe Kruger who was offsides on that play. Joe Kruger throws a punch. He is ejected from the game. Utah is without Joe Kruger, the junior defensive end. Chucky Keaton and the Aggies take advantage and take the lead.
Yeah, you cannot lose your composure. And I think Kruger retaliated. He didn't like, he was grabbed around the waist and held. And he responded, retaliated by throwing a punch.
We didn't have a look at that punch thrown by Joe Kruger, but Sean Hockley, the referee, certainly did. And so Joe Kruger has been ejected from the game. It will be Utah football at the 25. NASCAR Sprint Cup Series heads to Richmond, racing under the light. It's the last race before the chase. Sprint Cup Series Richmond, Saturday, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on ABC.
Well, I will take Jimmy Johnson for the rest of the race and everything. The cup, and you,
I'll take it. Oh, thanks.
You get the field.
Well, the question is,
I got JJ.
Will Jeff Gordon be in that field? One more race until the chase. Carter Blackburn, Rod Gilmore, Jamel Hill from Merlin Olsen Field, Romney Stadium in Logan, Utah. 12 straight wins in the series for Utah in jeopardy. John Hayes under center, tosses to John White. White runs into one of his own blockers. Fili Moyatu makes the stop. Jordan Wynn injured in the first half. He's already had 3 shoulder surgeries. Jamel Hill told us earlier the x-rays indicate not a major injury for Jordan Wynn, but he is on the sideline watching John Hayes, just as he did in 2011 when Hayes started the last 9 games, went 6-3 as a starter for the Utes in his junior year. John White carried the load last year when Wynn was out. John White trying to get something going here in the 4th. 3rd down coming up.
White, 86 yards rushing. He was banged up earlier. 3rd down has been a problem for both these teams tonight. The freshman quarterback is back in, and he has the ability to run. They've used him on a flea flicker to throw a touchdown pass, but he is also a very effective runner.
Wilson hands off. White is dropped. 4th down. Fili Moyatu there again, along with Zach Vigil. Utah State will get the football with a touchdown lead. Clock rolling under 7.5 of the 4th. Cameron Webb lets it bounce inside the 20, down right about the 19-yard line. The Aggies will take it with 7:12 to go.
But Chucky Keaton has been tough tonight. He's been knocked around, but he's been able to come up with things. He got a touchdown pass early in the game to his running back, Hill, out of the backfield. He's done a nice job on the move, on the edge, throwing off the wrong foot when needed to. Presence of mind on an offside play to find his receiver, Austin, and then a touchdown pass to his tight end. Just got them ahead. Bartlett on that last series. He's got them up by a possession right now.
His recruiting visit in 2010 is when Utah State beat BYU in a Friday night thriller. Chucky Keaton said after watching that one in person here in Logan, I want to be an Aggie. Had to tell the people in Houston, Utah State, not the team in red. Williams is wrestled down by Star Lotulelei, and it has been a long time since we have mentioned Star Lotulelei, a tremendous defensive tackle for the Utes.
Lotulelei, this is his kind of part. And this is run the ball, try and bleed some clock. This is none of the run them wide option all over the field. This is how tough are you inside, and there's nobody tougher than Lotulelei.
Number 9 on Mel Kiper's big board, would have been a first-round pick in the NFL draft, and came back for his senior year, play with his classmates and earn his degree. Keaton's pass is caught, yard short of the first down. Jamel Hill.
Yes, guys. free safety, Eric Rowe, he has some kind of right quad injury. He tried to put some pressure on it, and it looked like it wasn't cooperating. Right now, he's sitting here on the bench. It doesn't appear like he's going back in, so that could be a potentially big loss for their defense.
That's the free safety, Eric Rowe, who's out. Defensive end Joe Kruger is out. Brian Bletchen, who's a strong safety, is serving the second in a 3-game suspension. So 3 guys who would have been starters at the beginning of the year for Utah are out. And yet the Utes rally on 3rd down and short. LT Filiane leads the charge. 4th down coming up. Utes will get the football back.
That was huge. That saved time on the clock. Pressure inside. This is a big defensive line. You got that big guy there. That's the first place you look. Watch how he disrupts. He takes on 2 blockers, creates an opening that allows his teammate Philly Anga to get in there and make the play.
Bennett's punt. Charles Henderson lets it bounce. He will go out of bounds right around the 30. 5:19 to go. Utah football. 3 timeouts remaining. Well, the college football weekend is fully underway, and the noon games, Penn State and Virginia, Central Florida, Ohio State, and that's a big one in the SEC West already.
Well, Central Florida considered preseason as a threat to be a BCS buster. That would go a long way to getting them into the mix if they were to knock off Ohio State. Not that I see that happening.
Play fake on 1st down from Hayes. Complete. Luke Matthews, a senior from Phoenix Desert Vista High School, tackled by Rashard Stewart.
3-step action, getting the ball out quickly. Knocked around in the first half, early 3rd quarter. They've gotten the ball out faster to help their passing attack.
Jordan wins on the sideline. John Hayes is under center with 3 wide. White bounces it outside and gets just enough for a 1st down to the Utah 45.
Well, the Utah State defense has been most effective when they've brought pressure, when they've brought numbers. They've overloaded one side or the other, and that has allowed them to dictate the game at times.
Travis Wilson, the true freshman, back in at quarterback for 1st and 10. Fake the sweep to Dunn. Wilson drops, maybe a yard gain. Zach Vigil there, along with Jordan Nielsen. And B.J. Larson. Keep this in mind for Utah. Coleman Peterson has made field goals of 42 and 40 tonight. Last week he missed a PAT and a 27-yarder. So that's Utah needs a touchdown, but if it comes down to a kick, Peterson has been inconsistent. Hayes to a dragging receiver for a Utah 1st down, and now a flag comes in. That's White who makes the grab and gets to the 39.
Well, that looks like a horse collar tackle.
Jake Dowdy.
At the end of the run, personal foul, horse collar tackle by the defense. 15 yards will be added to the end of the run. 1st down.
But John White just slipped out from left to right. You see the end. This is after the end of the crossing route, and that is clearly a horse collar tackle that was put in. That rule put in a few years ago to protect players who were dragged down from behind like that.
So 1st and 10, Utah from the Utah State 24. Touchdown game. Utah needs the end zone. 3:28 to go. Hayes throws to the end zone. It is caught for a Utah touchdown. Kenneth Scott has his 2nd touchdown grab of his career, the 2nd of the night. And this is why I pointed out again that Coleman Peterson missed a PAT last week. He's coming on to try and tie this game with 3:19 to go. Selwood is the holder. Good hold by Selwood. Peterson gets it through, and we are tied at 20. 3:19 to go in Logan. We are even at 20.
Hayes had plenty of time. They picked up the pressure. He was not threatened. And on the other end of it, this is just a shake route. Fake the post, get back out to the corner. He turned around completely. Terrence Alston stopped wide open, had a lot of room to work with out there. No help for Alston at all.
And then back to the sideline, Jordan Wynn there to greet John Hayes like it was throughout 2011. After Jordan Wynn's season-ending shoulder injury, he was there to encourage John Hayes again tonight. Last Friday night, it was Boise State and Michigan State going down to the last minute of competition before that one was decided. And I guess the magic of Friday night just rolls right into 2012.
That's how you get ready for a big Saturday of college football. You started off on Friday night.
3:19 to go, Utah State football. 2 timeouts left for the Aggies. It's been since 1997 they have knocked off the Utes. 12 straight wins in this series for Utah. Glover right from near the goal line, right around the 16. Long field for Utah State. Well, the college football weekend is definitely underway with a good one in the 4th quarter here. But Ron, what are you looking forward to tomorrow?
Well, I'm pretty intrigued with the SEC East and the opening for Missouri and Texas A&M in the SEC. And it's intriguing how Georgia and Florida have gotten not that much respect. But that Georgia game, that Georgia-Missouri game promises to be pretty exciting. That one really has my attention.
So what is the key for those 2 new SEC teams opening up at home, Missouri and Texas A&M?
How physical can you be?
Texas A&M has a good offensive line, figures to match up well against the Gators. That's Kerwin Williams with the first down carry to near the 25.
You think about the Florida game. Florida could not run the football against Bowling Green. Will Muschamp not happy about that. They know they need to be physical in their ball game against Texas A&M. Same thing goes for Georgia.
New offensive coordinator Brent Pease for Florida coming from Boise State. Williams gets the first down. Well, happens so often early in a game when you have a missed PAT. It comes back to haunt you. Brock Lawrence missed PAT, and guess what? We got a tie game. 1 point is pretty big right now.
And this is Chucky Keaton time. This is get him to the edge, let him see things, let him create.
Last year, Utah State had 7 games decided in the last minute or overtime. In game number 2 of 2012. 2:24 to go, tie game. Keaton scrambles, flag down. Keaton slips to the 33, but again, flag down as Keaton avoided the rush of Dave Kruger.
Personal foul, chop block by the offense. One player blocking high while the other blocks low simultaneously. Half the distance to the goal, replay, first down.
Every time they call that, I am very, very happy. One of the most dangerous blocks in all of college football. Over here. One guy engaged, right there, you see it. That is a very dangerous steal.
So that has to be the combination, not just the cut block low, but defender engaged high and low
combo.
After the personal foul, it's 1st and 25. Keaton from the shotgun. Chucky Keaton finds Bartlett again. He had the touchdown grab last time, gets it to the 20.
Remember when Utah State used a timeout early in the half? That now comes back into play. Only 2 left, $1:44 here.
And the Utah State kicker is a true freshman who has not made a field goal yet in his college career. Missed the PAT in the 1st quarter. There's another flag. That's false start.
Before the snap, false start by the offense, number 66. 5 yards. Still second down.
You know, this is starting to get so bad. You might start thinking play for overtime if you're Utah State. I mean, you are now 2nd and 20. And you got a $1:28 left here. Unless you come up with a big pass play here, you've got problems. And you will be throwing into the teeth of coverage here.
Keaton, draw on 2nd and 20. Star Lotulele runs down Chucky Keaton to force 3rd and long.
Well, Utah should be using their timeouts.
Utah State uses the timeout prior to 3rd and long.
Wow. Now, wait a minute. I'm not sure why you use that timeout if you're Utah State. I don't think that helps you here.
Does that mean Gary Anderson is playing for the opportunity to win it in the 4th with 1:04, 3rd and long, going from about the 23?
There are not many 3rd and 17, 3rd and 20 plays you have, particularly in a situation like this that you know you can count on to get you the first down. I mean, you just stop the clock for Utah and let them keep their 3 timeouts. You don't pick this up. They're going to have plenty of field, plenty of time to get back in the range here. I would have forced Utah to blow a timeout here.
So Utah State with the offensive timeout. That was announced as a timeout by Utah State. But
that makes more sense.
Okay.
That makes more sense. It made no sense for Utah State.
Yeah, that was announced as Utah State.
Yeah.
It was Utah who took the timeout, which makes a lot more sense.
Yep.
Keaton, 3rd and long, tries the option, dragged down at the 25. 1:03 and 1:02. Timeout Utah. 1 minute remaining. The Utes will get the football back with just under a minute. 1 timeout left.
Right decision by Gary Anderson to play for the overtime. Right decision for Utah to use the timeouts and get the shot here.
Thank you.
Minute 3 is what the game clock will show. So again, Utah has forced Utah State to punt. 1 timeout, 1:03 left. And Utah State, who led 13-3 at the half tonight, 4 times last year. They lost double-digit leads and lost the game. 7 games decided in the last minute or overtime for the Aggies a year ago, and it will be another game decided in the last minute or overtime tonight between the Aggies and the Utes.
Assuming they fill this punt cleanly, hang on to the ball, they'll have plenty of time.
Bennett gets it away. Takes a Utah State roll all the way down to the 19-yard line. The ball is blown dead with 48 seconds. 1 timeout left for Utah from the 19-yard line. And now the focus on Coleman Peterson, the senior from Sandy, Utah. Missed a PAT and a 27-yarder last week, but he has made 2 kicks tonight. Career long is 48, so that means he would have to get to
about the 31-yard line.
31. Coleman Peterson, who walked on the team all the way back in 2006, now on scholarship. He was honorable mention Pac-12 last year. Will he have a chance to win it for the Utes? John Hayes on 1st down, goes scrambling across the 20. He's knocked out of bounds with 42 seconds left. Richard Stewart forces him out.
Utah State has not backed off of the pressure. But now they have to make sure there were of 2 guys out there. Scott, number 2, who has out-jumped everybody when he's been in position, and 10, Christopher, who's also been the deep threat. Those 2 receivers have been effective for Utah.
The backup quarterback, John Hayes, trying to rally the Utes to a road win in Logan. Here's the shot. Deep. Scott holds it in. into Utah State territory at the 49.
He just out-jumps everybody. He's 6'3", 200 pounds. He's going up against 5'9", 5'10" corners. And they're throwing it up and letting him out-jump them.
Utah needs less than 20 yards to get into Coleman Peterson's field goal range. Hayes pressured. He will throw it incomplete. No intentional grounding there for Hayes, which is what the Utah State fans wanted. Jordan Nielsen applies the pressure again.
15 was in the area of the pass. Second down.
White, the receiver, in the area of the pass. Coleman Peterson's career-long 48 yards.
There is White, who is blocking. Now remember, the rule was changed. It doesn't have to be that he's capable of catching it. He simply has to be in the area.
Field judge runs in. There's a flag.
The defense had 12 men. This is a substitution infraction, which will be a 5-yard foul. Even though this foul requires a 10-second subtraction from the game clock, Utah is not going to exercise that option. Second down.
Now,
Utah is about 15 yards away from field goal range.
Well, I think it's a little bit less than that. I think they need to pick up about 10 or 12 to have a shot. They'd be more comfortable with about 15. And they've got a timeout. They can use the middle of the field.
Heavy pressure coming. Hayes releases. Incomplete. 18 seconds left. Third down and 5 for Utah.
Well, they need to get Scott back on the field. He was on the sideline for that play. He is a big target, but they have him on the sideline. So that means that their primary receiver right now is number 10, Christopher. And if you're Utah State, you have to account for that. He's at the bottom of the screen. Right there.
Hayes rolls the other way, throws. It is caught a yard short of the first down. Matthews makes the grab.
That gives you nothing. That's not a good play.
Timeout Utah, 11 seconds left. Fourth down and 1 coming up for Utah. No timeouts remaining for Kyle Whittingham.
That was not a good play. It was the worst of all worlds for you. You didn't get the first down. You didn't get close enough for a field goal. And now you actually have to spend more time to get another shot at making a play. So they have no choice. They got to go for this here. They can't kick it. It's out of range. And then you have to hustle up, spike the ball, and try and kick a field goal.
So step 1 is get that 1 yard to move the chains. Remember, the clock will stop temporarily if the chains are moved on fourth down. If Utah State gets a stop here, Aggies get the football and head to overtime.
Exactly.
The 110th meeting between Utah and Utah State is down to 4 and 1 in a tie game. It's John Hayes who comes out as the quarterback, not the Wildcat true freshman Travis Wilson. 4th and 1. White straight ahead. He's got the first down. Clock stops at what point? 5 seconds. Utah will have to hurry to the line.
Got to hurry and spike it.
No timeouts remaining for the Utes. Quick spike. 2 seconds. Field goal unit comes on. Coleman Peterson, whose career long is 48. This would be a 52-yard attempt. Peterson, who walked on the team in 2006, returned from an LDS mission. Got his first action last year, ended up honorable mention Pac-12. Missed a 27-yarder last week. This for 52 and the win. But first, timeout Utah State. Peterson missed the 52-yarder, but the timeout registered before the kick was away.
That is one time you'd like to have the iced timeout back.
We will step aside with 2 seconds. We will keep it here. Utah State still has 1 timeout. One more opportunity for Gary Anderson to ice the kicker Colton Peterson.
Well, at this point, you want to use that. You've already iced him once. Let him have a lot more time to think about it. Let him stand out there and realize that this would be not only a game-winning field goal, but the longest field goal of his career.
Coleman Peterson from 52 in the win. Take 2. It is no good, and we are headed to overtime. Utah and Utah State are headed to overtime. The college football weekend begins with overtime in Logan, Utah. The first overtime meeting between Utah and Utah State.
If the loser of the toss will choose the side of the field we will play. What's your call? He's called heads. Heads is the call. Heads is the call. It is a heads. You've won the toss. You'd like to be on defense. Which end of the field would you like to play on? Okay, you're going to be on offense on that end. Put your backs to your goal. It will be Utah State's ball, 1st and 10. Good luck, gentlemen.
Utah wins the critical overtime coin toss. Here's how we got to overtime. It was all Utah State to start.
Yeah, it started with a blocked field goal that got Utah State on the board in the first quarter to put them up. And then it was Chucky Keaton coming back, finding his running back Hill out in the flat for a touchdown pass. And that was a while before the flea flicker got it going for Scott from Wilson. And once again, Chucky Keaton in the fourth quarter found his tight end Bartlett in the corner of the end zone. And Scott once again out-jumped the secondary of Utah State to put us in a 20-20 tie here in overtime.
The pressure on the overtime rules, think of it like a baseball inning. There's a top half and a bottom half. So when you win the coin toss, as Utah did, they want to be in the bottom half of that inning so you know what you need in that overtime.
That's exactly right. If they kick a field goal, you know you need a field goal to tie, touchdown to win.
Chucky Keaton, the sophomore quarterback for Utah State. 7 times Utah State had a game decided in the last minute or overtime a year ago. Overtime again. Kerwin Williams picks up maybe a yard on first down. Keep in mind for Utah, Joe Kruger ejected from the game. Eric Rowe, the free safety, is out of the game. Brian Bletchen, who was supposed to be their strong safety, he's suspended for this game. So some big losses on the Utah defense.
The option hasn't worked in a while. They've run it out of this formation. The quick pass has been effective. 3-step, pop it over the middle.
Keaton on the roll. Keaton all the way back to the 35. Chucky Keaton will heave and incomplete. Williams inside the 10. Open for a moment. 3rd down.
They got it behind him. He had a choice. He had Williams or he could have run it. And he just got it behind Williams.
So remember, no matter what happens, Utah gets the football.
Hey, Carter, remember, the big guy is right in there. He can always be disruptive.
Starlo Tulele in the middle. 3rd down and 8. Keaton pumps, rolls. There's all day. Chucky Keaton. Nothing but green inside the 5. Keaton is shoved out of bounds just short of the goal line. When Keaton turned around, saw an open field almost all the way to the end zone.
He had that open on the play before that, and he misfired on the pass. This time, he made no hesitation. Once he saw it, he was decisive, and he went for it. Great decision.
Utah State has first and goal from the 1, trying to get their first win over Utah since 1997. Williams is apparently just short. It will be second down and goal for the Aggies.
I still say if they're going to run inside here, find Lotulelei and run away from him. You're not moving him.
Replay is going to take a look to see if Kerwin Williams got in the end zone. This is an official review.
Did he get in? Can't see the ball from that angle.
And again, if you're a replay official looking for a clear picture, you want to see the nose of that football cross the goal line, break the plane of the end zone. Otherwise, the ruling on the field will stand.
You get nothing conclusive from that, so you can't change the call on the field.
That video evidence appears to be disputable to me.
Just train your eyes along the goal line and try and find the football breaking the plane. Hard to do.
And even though you see Sean Hockley, a referee, on the phone, this is a replay official's call. So again, Williams was ruled down at the 1. Indisputable video evidence to overturn. Didn't look like it from our eyes. Replay official has to be convinced beyond all doubt according to the rule book.
The ruling on the field stands as called. Second down.
Second and goal.
Again, stay away from Lotulelei because he has the ability not only to make the tackle, but to blow up a play and cause a turnover. So if you are Utah State, you're thinking be safe and avoid that guy.
Williams, touchdown, Utah State. The Aggies take the lead in the top of the first overtime. This is Josh Thompson again for the PAT, replacing the kicker who began the day, the true freshman Brock Warren, who missed a PAT. Thompson's kick is good. 7-point lead for Utah State. Now it's the Utes' turn in the bottom of the overtime, and Utah knows they need a touchdown.
Williams is going to bounce it to the outside as they get the block down that way. He feels it. He knows that's where it's going to be. Watch the bounce to the outside. Completely read it from the beginning. The block down, he knew it was there, felt it to the outside.
And Rod, just like you said, they run that away from star Lotulelei.
Absolutely. Wouldn't you?
Yes. No question I'm running away from him. Since 1997, that was the last time that Utah State beat Utah. The last time that they went to a bowl game. Prior to last year, Gary Anderson said a Utah State win would flip the Beehive State upside down. John White gets it on first down to the 21. 4-yard gain.
John Hayes came on for Jordan Wynn late in the second quarter. Started a number of games last season. He has thrown a touchdown pass tonight. In the red zone, he's put the ball up high for his receivers to out-jump the smaller defensive backs.
Hayes gives it on the end around to Drez Anderson, who runs away from the Aggie defense. Anderson is shoved out of bounds right around the 6-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal for the Utes.
Drez Anderson, great speed, quickness, runs in the family. Dad, Flipper Anderson, plays wide receiver at UCLA in the NFL. Does he get all the way inside or did he step out? Looks like he's tight rope walking that edge there. Good call.
1st and goal from the 6. Hayes, pass is batted down and incomplete. A helmet comes off during that play.
It looked like Lacike is the one who lost his helmet, number 57. So he has to come out. Yeah.
Vigil got a hand on it.
They were trying to go to White out of the backfield. Had him out there, but the ball got tipped.
Travis Wilson in, the quarterback, on 2nd and goal.
Now Scott has out-jumped corners twice for touchdowns. He's at the bottom of the screen, number 2.
Wilson keeps it, and he is stood up. Minimal gain. It's 3rd and goal coming for Utah.
Well, they have 2 shots at it. Vigil comes out with the shoe issue, and I still think Scott has not been stopped in man-on-man coverage inside the red zone. It's been a mismatch with number 2. You put the ball up high, he's probably going to out-jump the corner. He's done it all night. There he goes to the top of the screen. Number 2 right there.
3rd and goal, Hayes back in at quarterback. Heavy pressure. Hayes rolls, throws, caught, touchdown. Utes get the touchdown they need. It's Jake Murphy. But there is a flag down.
Pass interference by the offense, number 82. Push off. 15 yards, replay, 3rd down.
Wipe out the touchdown.
That is almost never called. They got in a bunch formation to the left side. 3 receivers, and they ran a pick. It's over here. That is the bunch formation. You see the push-off right there and the separation by Jake Murphy, 82. That is almost never called. Good call.
It is still 3rd and goal, but now Utah has it at the 21. Hayes from the shotgun. Over the middle, complete to the 18. 4th, and the ball game coming up for Utah.
If you're Utah, Scott's got to be your choice. And if Utah State holds on here, this place will explode.
How about this start to the college football weekend? Timeout, Utah State. The one timeout they have allotted in overtime.
Well, I think the one thing you remind your defense of, if you're Gary Anderson, you tell them, we're going to play zone. We want to see the quarterback's eyes. We want to see the ball in the air. And we want to see where number 2 and number 10 will be. And we're going to go compete and out-jump them for the ball. And you want hands getting there. You will not take the chance now and play man coverage and have a guy turn his back to the quarterback.
It's been 15 years since Utah State has claimed a victory over Utah. They are 1 play away. Hayes to the end zone. Utah State wins. Incomplete on 4th and goal. And the Aggies celebrate their first win in 15 years over the Utah Utes. Anderson said, we want to stand up to Big Brother, look him in the eye and say, we want to fight. Utah State wins the fight in overtime, 27-20. A celebration night in Logan, Utah. After 12 straight wins in the series by the Utah Utes, it's the Aggies of Utah State who claim the overtime win in another Friday night thriller.
Well, there was a possibility there. Single coverage to the outside, and what a tremendous play. The refs let them play. Little contact there between Davis and Christopher, but the refs were letting them play. Good decision at that time. Utah State's defensive corners came up with the play at the end of the game.
Chucky Keaton celebrates a Friday night win over Utah. 2 years ago, he was on the sideline when Utah State beat BYU. One of the big reasons why he became an Aggie. Jamel Hill is in the mayhem.
Yeah, right here in the mayhem, definitely. Coach, you haven't beaten this team since your program hasn't beaten this team since 1997. What does this win mean for your program?
It's a huge win for our program, and I love those kids. They never stop fighting. Huge moment for Utah State. All Aggies everywhere, but credit goes to those kids in those blue helmets. I love them. They played their tails off. They never give up.
Chucky Keaton had a big play in overtime. What did you see from him today?
Well, we'll see what it means as we go forward, but right now I'm going to enjoy this one. I promise you that much. But to play a team like Utah and beat them is a major accomplishment.
Now, your team, they went through some offensive stagnancy, some other mistakes. What kind of resiliency did your team show you today?
Well, we have a lot to learn. There's mistakes all over the place, and we can learn from them. The bottom line is they hung in there. They found a way to make plays when they had to, and I don't know what else to say other than I'm pretty damn happy.
That's all right, Coach. I understand why you're speechless. Thank you.
Thank you.
And next weekend, it's on to Wisconsin. Tonight, a celebration in Logan, 27-20, Utah State over Utah. A longtime Utah assistant, Gary Anderson, coaches the Aggies to a win over the Utes. In a Friday night thriller in overtime, 27-20. Coming up, NFL Live presented by Radio Shack. For Ron Gilmore, Jamel Hill, our entire crew, I'm Carter Blackburn.